The first weld system for exothermic welding is a simple, portable and cost-effective method of welding copper to copper or copper to steel. There are several advantages to using the first weld system. For a start, it requires no outside power source, and it is a quick and easy method of making high-quality welded connections. So, how does it work? Well, the graphite mould is made up of a crucible, tap hole and weld cavity. The exothermic reaction takes place in the crucible. First weld connections utilize the high-temperature reaction of powdered copper oxide and aluminium. The tap hole directs the molten copper into the weld cavity, which houses the conductors which are to be joined. The permanent connection produced is a fusion of virtually pure copper, and in most cases has twice the cross-sectional area of the conductor being welded. This means that the joint is superior to standard mechanical and compression connections, enabling earth conductors to carry fault currents at higher temperatures. Now, as with any kind of welding, there are potential hazards. Therefore, always wear protective boots, safety glasses and heat-resistant gloves when using the first weld system, which complies with normal site regulations. Note, there may be additional site guidance on PPE. The first weld equipment consists of a specially designed and clearly labelled graphite mould, a handle clamp, first weld powders, flint gun and cleaning tools. A well-maintained graphite mould has an average life of around 50 joints. However, proper maintenance may prolong this lifespan. Each joint type has its own specific mould design. For the purpose of this video, we will be demonstrating with bar to bar in order to illustrate the first weld process. You will find full details on the exact first weld procedure for each type of mould and the type of conductors set out in the instruction material that comes with every mould. To make an effective joint, it is essential to prepare before starting the process. The surfaces of all the conductors to be welded must be clean, dry and bright. Any oil, grease and moisture must be removed prior to welding. The mould itself must also be dry, so preheat it to make sure any moisture is expelled. Then, insert the handle clamp lugs into the designated holes on the mould and tighten the winged screws to secure the clamp to the mould. The graphite mould is then split, allowing it to be clamped around the conductors. A small steel retaining disc contained in the powder box is placed into the mould crucible. This should be centered over the tap hole, as this will prevent the powder from dropping through the mould. The type, size and quantity of powder is marked on the label of each box. The size is also marked on the top of each tube cap. Pour the main welding powder into the crucible. The starter powder can be found on the bottom of the cartridge. Loosen the cap to release. Spread the starter powder evenly over the welding powder, placing a small amount on the top edge of the mould to enable ignition. Then, close the cover and ignite the starter powder with the flint gun. The instantaneous reaction produces molten copper, which runs into the weld cavity. The steel disc with other impurities is converted to aluminium oxide slag. Wait approximately 15 seconds before opening the mould and removing the welded joint. A good indicator of when this is safe to do is when the slag has changed from a bright red to a dull red to black, signifying that the metal has solidified. Remember, the mould and conductor will be hot, so handle it with care. Remove all slag and dust from the mould before making the next weld. To clean, remove the slag with the scraper tool and clean the mould with a soft brush. Don't use tools like wire brushes, as these will cause damage to the mould. So there you have it. The first weld exothermic welding system is fast, easy and safe to use, providing excellent cost-effective joints with superior corrosion resistance properties.